Hey guys, today we're going to be installing this Troy TRX Extreme 308 rail on a Smith Wesson M&P10. I'll go through the tools you need and the basic install procedure. If you want to see the updates for the rest of the components on this rifle, you can check out the project updates video. I'll put an annotation to that. Short reviews of all the components in that video as well. So check that out. Thanks for watching, and we'll get started. Okay, let's talk about some of the tools we'll need to put this rail on. Start off with, need I think this one's a 5/32 hex wrench. So whichever kind you prefer, socket type, hex key set, T-handles, a handguard removal tool, which you don't have to have, but it does make it easier. Small ball peen hammer, and either a pin punch or a roll pin punch. And that's where a block come in handy to take out the roll pins in the gas tube. You'll need a barrel wrench. Some people have said on this one, I didn't try to use this one when I did this, but this has problems fitting around the AR-10 barrels, this type. So I'm going to be using this. It actually came with a Midwest Industries rail. Same size AR-15, AR-10, but they take the same type of barrel nut wrench. A torque wrench, we're tightening it back down, and some type of vice block to so we can torque down the barrel. And your beverage choice today, it's coffee. So I think that's about it. That's all we need. Hex wrench, something to get the handguard off, roll pins out for the gas tube, something to loosen the barrel and tighten the barrel back down, torque wrench to tighten it back down, and vice block. One of the concerns I had when I've been looking for a rail for this M&P10, and trying to weigh price, weight, functionality, and looks to some extent. And I kept coming back to this Troy TRX Extreme 308 rail. And but one of the things I'd seen is it seems like half the people have issues with the install. It's loose, it never tightens up. They've stripped these helical oils out of the tube here. So I wanted to give a good look of the barrel nut itself, how it interfaces with the handguard. And I haven't installed this yet, but I'm wondering if people just don't have this lined up correctly, is why they're having issues. Why half the people love it and half the people don't. So see if I can show this in the video. So obviously the barrel nut goes in this way, the recess there, it sits in the barrel. So if you can see down here in the tube, there's a ridge right there that the barrel nut has to line with. And I'm wondering if they're getting it where it's not quite in that slot, which then aligns, makes these outer ones not line up right. So give it a shot, install it, and see how if I have any issues. So for installing this rail, the first things we're going to do are take off this railed gas block and the flash suppressor. There we go, got that loose. So people have said these are really hard to get off. I had already taken mine off before just to see if had issues with the crush washer, like some other people on the forums had said. Mine was not. It was just like that, a little twist with a 7/8 wrench came right off. Flash hider, crush washer, the rest of that. Spark up. Back to the side, handguard end cap, and then I'll chuck it up in the vise. Alright, so we pulled the bolt out, charging handle closed, and I've got a new set of vice blocks here by Plastics Revolution. First time using those. Here. Yeah, it's pretty solid on there. Torque wrenches too. Just kind of talk about that one. One, when you're breaking something loose, you don't want to use a torque wrench. Can throw off the calibration of them. So while we're pulling this barrel nut off, we don't want to use that. So just use that barrel nut off of there. What was it? Torque wrenches. And when you store them, take them back out to 0. Don't leave the spring tension on them. Also range, like this is a 0 to 75 foot-pounds, and we're going 30-ish. So I forget the actual numbers. It's something like 15 to 90%. Basically try to stay in the middle of the range. You don't want to get those outsides. Usually try to be within 25 to 75% of the range. Alright. Barrel nut off. And the new Troy barrel nut on. So our torque wrench, 30 foot-pounds here. Which is the minimum torque spec. Kind of go from there. Back with the right, a 1/2 inch direct torque wrench. So that's our men's back, 30 foot-pounds, and we'll see if I make sure everything lines up. So we need to go a little bit further. Edge it up towards 40 and see where we're at. Maybe a hair more. So we've got that torque down. I just wanted to talk real quick about barrel wrenches, or particularly the Troy. The Troy does not come with a barrel wrench. This is actually one that came out of a Midwest Industries rail. They typically send these with their rails. Troy does not. So you will need something like this, the Midwest Industries one, or the old Tapco barrel wrench that has a 1/2 inch drive in it as well. Because you need to be able to torque that down. So you need something that's got a drive in it to do that. So yeah, either one of these works for just about everything you need to do on an AR platform, or really a combination of one of these little, I think this is Tapco too. Yeah, Tapco, and a barrel wrench like this will pretty much do most of the things you need to do. We gotta get the pin out of the gas tube. And putting in a Yankee Oil Machine low profile gas bullet. So this port facing down so it aligns with the port. So gas block, line up our holes, and put the pen back in. Line up our holes. And I went off camera there to grab a roll pin, which if you're not familiar with, just has a little nub on the end of it to line up for roll pins. So, installed. And just checking for the clearance up here. Make sure that gas tube's aligned in one of those grooves. And then we'll cinch down the set screws on it, lock it in place. Okay, once you've got the gas block set screws tightened down and put a little Loctite on those, a little 242 blue Loctite. The next thing to do is slide the rail on. And again, there's these grooves in here, so you gotta slide it in a little bit off center. Shift it, I think the instructions say 5 degrees. Slide on. Can it a little bit. Slide in. Rotate. It should be flush there. Take your hex key. Just snug these up a little bit. And just make sure you tighten those down evenly. It's pretty loose. This is the problem I have with this rail, is it just doesn't seem to lock on very tight. Okay, and then once I get it close, you want this monolithic type rail, so you want this really even, and you can visually check it, as well as one of the things I think is easiest is just take a scope mount that goes across both bridges, lock it down, and that should align that front rail. And then we'll finish tightening down these set screws. Like the instructions say, there should still be a gap in between them. Don't cinch it down all the way. You'll notice that the barrel end one is much tighter than the barrel nut side, the receiver side. But I just try to tighten them down to keep a even gap in there. There we go. Installed. One thing, if you're going to put rails on or like this bipod mount, I would do these beforehand. It makes it much easier to get to before you have it on here. And you just test mock up, make sure where the gas block is. You don't have any interference there. So it hits around that 4th hole right there. But with the light rail, even at that one before that, seems fine. Even the bipod mount that's underneath and comes up through fit fine too. The Yankee machine low profile gas block still has plenty of clearance in there. So there it is, completed rail. If you have any questions, let me know. Be happy to help if I can. Silent Sentry, thanks for watching. Stay in the fight.